Hare Krishna. Jai Hari Bol. Hare Krishna.
Hari Bol Maharaj, Dandavat
Pranam. Dandavat, Dandavat. Hare Krishna. How are you all today?
Como vocês todos estão hoje?
Wow, very nice. And,
Very nice. Very
and,
nice.
and you, Maharaj, how are you today?
I'm a little good.
Pouquinho
Nice.
bem.
In
Nice.
Italian, they say mezza mezz.
Mezzo mezzo.
É,
Nice.
So Shanta Maharaj is very busy today.
yes, he make I think a Sadhu-Sanga there, a Harikata in Nershinhapali.
Yeah.
Yes, não, não dá porque eu preciso escrever.
I can't see you.
Yes, I'm here.
There you are.
Ele acabou, eu quero ver você. Do
Let me
trás
try
pra
to.
cá.
You're hiding. You're
Yes.
hiding. You're hiding.
Deixa eu colocar
Tá
para trás.
escondendo.
Yes.
Gupta Jadugopal. We're going to call you Gupta Jadugopal. You know Gupta Jadugopal? Looks like the situation there is going to clear up in Nishringapali. They had a talk. They had a talk with the devotees there. And now it seems like things are going to be starting to clear up. Yes,
Yes.
that will be very nice.
Yes, yes.
Main thing I feel in our mutt has to be understood is to be kind to one another, to be affectionate and loving and respectful, humble with one another, with each other. That's the main thing.
Essa é a coisa principal. Yes.
So much fighting and mean spirit. Sometimes it seems mean spirit. That's a very bad thing. How can a community thrive with that kind of mood? And what kind of realization does that show? One devotee, they're always thinking of Krishna, or should. The meaning of devotee is always remembering Krishna. Krishna Smaranam. That's Smarana means remembering. I always think consciousness means what you are remembering. Consciousness is based on what you are remembering. So Krishna consciousness means always remembering Krishna. And when you see another devotee, doesn't that mean you're remembering Krishna? Shouldn't that mean that you are remembering Krishna? Then how you can be angry or mean to them? If you are seeing something else, then that's not Krishna consciousness. So our dealings with each other should be a Krishna conscious also. That would be very nice. And then automatically, the devotees' love for Krishna will spread to the others also. Devotees. The love for Krishna will manifest in our love for the devotees. That's very nice. Then constant remembrance is there. That will be Krishna conscious community. But evil.
Haribol, Jai.
Anyhow, thankfully, there are very many sincere devotees, many wonderful Vaishnavas in the Sri Chaitanya Saraswat, by the mercy of Srila Sridhara Maharaj and Srila Govinda Maharaj. So many very sincere and very pure-hearted devotees are also in our family. And they just need to have a chance to let their voices be known, and their influence be known. And then we will see how much progress we will make in our own spiritual life by their association. We came to the Mutt, to Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mutt, to progress, make progress in our spiritual life, and to be nurtured in our progress, to become more and more advanced in spiritual life. Means to develop our love, prem, Krishna prem, to reach that goal more and more. So we need the help of one another. That will be so beneficial to us if we have the help of everyone who is a member of that community. Well, then what else could we expect more? Everyone we meet, they will enhance our feeling of love and devotion. Who's that? Who's the other one?
I'm not sure.
Hare Krishna? 732. Oh, 609. Dhanavats, Anonymous. Hare Krishna. Yes.
Yes.
Prabhu, are you hearing us? Can you hear us?
I can.
Oh, Jai.
Sorry.
Who is that? What is your name?
Tony Pradhan. Tony.
Oh,
Pradhan.
you're Tony. Who's the
Yeah,
other one?
thanks. Yeah, thanks.
Galaxy? Who's that
Thanks.
one?
Yeah, from New Jersey.
Yes, now I know you. Tony
Thank you.
Pradhan. Tony
Yes, sir.
Pradhan.
Yes, sir.
How are you doing, Tony?
I'm doing very well. Thank you.
Good.
Yeah, thank you.
Always helping Krishna Keshava Prabhu. That's very much appreciated.
Well, I did ask someone when the word serving Krishna means.
Okay.
Somebody who, anyway, they said that just helping others in need or others is pleasing Krishna. Yeah, I had asked this question before. Pleasing Krishna is just helping others in need. That's what is pleasing Krishna. But I'm doing okay.
Well, service to Krishna doesn't mean helping others so much. It means helping the devotees who are connected with Krishna. Devotees are serving Krishna. Devotee means those who serve Krishna. And to serve those who serve Krishna is therefore also serving Krishna.
Okay.
So
Thank you.
that is the meaning of devotion. Devotion means devotion to Krishna. Others have so many different interests that they are serving other people, They have so many different interests. Who is serving his boss?
Okay.
Who is serving his family, etc.
Okay.
And who are serving themselves.
Okay.
But we want to serve those who are serving Krishna, and those persons are called devotees. So by serving the devotees, we can also serve Krishna.
Okay.
That's the idea, basic idea.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Who's the other one? Galaxy S8. You don't know.
That's my phone. I think it's probably my phone. It's not working.
Oh, that's your phone. Oh, I see.
Yeah. Thanks.
Okay, thank you, Tony.
Thank you.
So you're going to come tomorrow? Or
Yeah, I might. I'll just come for the kirtan, but not for the prasad. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'll try to so for the kirtan. Yeah.
Tomorrow is a special day. We're celebrating the disappearance of Sridhar Maharaj, Srila Sridhar Maharaj.
Okay.
He is the founder of the Chaitanya Saraswat Mutt. So
Okay.
we're celebrating his festival tomorrow.
Okay.
If you come, you'll get special blessings.
I will. I will come. I'll show up in the YMCA.
Okay.
1 o'clock. Thank you. Mhm.
Then let's see. I don't know who else is coming today. Sana?
Yes.
And Haryananda. Where's Haryananda?
Yes, Maharaj. I think that Haryananda will join us in a few moments.
Okay.
He asked before if there was meeting. Then I sent him the link here for the Zoom.
Okay.
I think
Okay.
that he will join us.
Okay. I'll wait for him. So what festival will you have for Sridhar Maharaj tomorrow? Anything planned?
Planejada?
Sim, vamos fazer uma prachada diferente.
Yes,
vamos
Maharaj.
fazer
You make
arati
some
muito
different
festivo.
special prasadam tomorrow and a special arati.
Okay. Do you have many devotees coming there?
Vocês têm muitos devotos vindo aí?
Não, por causa do lockdown.
Not because the situation here in Brazil, Maharaj, from the COVID situation.
Oh,
So we are more, not locked down, but we are more closed. The people around are more closed.
I see.
Tiveram muitos
Yes.
casos, muitas mortes aqui.
As we have lots of
A
cases
sugestão
and
do governo é que a
deaths
gente
in Brazil,
não
so the suggestion, the orientation of the government is to do not make any group reunion
Okay.
meeting.
pessoas, né?
More than 6 people, the government say that the neighbors can call the police and etc.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So do you have the vaccine? Have it?
Todos tomaram vacina? I took yesterday the first
First
dose.
shot? Okay.
Yeah, first shot.
Everybody else has?
Shamgori has 2
Yes.
doses, Shrimat's the first one, and Aline not
No.
yet.
No Brasil está muito difícil as vacinas, né?
Yes, Shamgori is saying that in Brazil it's getting really difficult to get the vaccine.
Oh,
Bem,
Yes.
yeah, that's good that you are being careful.
Yes. Que bom que vocês estão tomando cuidado.
eu queria
Maharaj, Shangori is saying that she would like to make you a question.
Okay, I'll try to answer. Yes.
Diga que eu sou muito caída, eu sou muito caída, eu
Aham.
tenho muita dificuldade de quando a gente fala assim, que nós temos que servir os servos dos servos dos servos. E quando a gente fala que a gente tem que servir aquele que serve Sri Krishna.
Ok.
Mas, infelizmente, a gente às vezes tem visto pessoas que estão utilizando de mau comportamento,
Ok.
de maus sentimentos para servir a
Ok.
Krishna. Isto, a gente deve fechar os olhos e continuar servindo? Ou como que fica
Okay,
isso?
okay.
Eu não sei.
Maharaj, she said that she personally is really
Eu sou caída.
fall in her mentality, and she would like to make a question that when we say that we must serve the serve of the serve, like the servitor of the servitor,
Yes.
sometimes, as she said, I see some people who are using our mission, our conceptions to their own benefit, and not spiritual benefit, and even creating problems to other devotees. What should I do in that case? Close my eyes and keep service, make service to these people as if it was okay, or should I get a distance from them?
Well, I think we have to be somehow very compassionate to those who are fallen. We don't want to push them away. If you see someone is not doing things properly, then we have to think. I remember Srila Prabhupada, Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada, gave a nice example. He said, yes, we are dirty. We have so many dirty things in our life. We are coming from the material conception of life. and we're trying to become Krishna conscious. Then, but we are in a process. And he said, just like when someone is taking a shower, they're cleaning themselves off. You can't say to the person, oh, look, you have so much dirt on you. You're taking a shower, of course. So the shower is coming, gradually the dirt will be removed. So we can't criticize that they are dirty. We know they are dirty. We know, that's why we are taking shower. Understand? So we have to trust that even someone is not so pure, but they are engaged in devotional service, that they will become pure. So in that way, we try to serve them, give them prasad, give them good harikatha, or give them good words. Try to encourage them, even though they may be fallen, to do as much as they can in their practice of Bhakti Yoga. In that way. I don't like to see, to eliminate, to throw out people as much as possible. We don't want to throw anyone out. Whoever comes to Krishna consciousness, yes, they are not going to be pure in heart. We know that already. But we try to encourage them in their spiritual life. And recognize who we can take advice from also, who we're taking advice from, who we're taking guidance from. We may not take guidance from them, but we try to help them, guide them. And like that, we have to make some discrimination. But at the same time, we try to see everyone is a spirit soul. They're all part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. Some have forgotten, and some are in the process of remembering. Like Govinda Maharaj used to say, some are 50%, some are 75%, some are 25%, Try to judge properly each person and relate to them accordingly. But we don't stop serving them. We don't stop serving them. And until they are too much to handle, then what to do? They become disruptive for us and others. Then what to do? We have to either explain to them or ask them to take some distance. My experience is like that. We are all fallen. We're all fallen souls, and we hope that others will help us also and not kick us out. Hare Krishna, Om
Hare
Devi,
Krishna, Dandot Pranam Maharaj. Dandot Pranam Maharaj.
Dhanyavad, Kana Priya Didi. Your picture is there at least.
How are you, Maharaj?
I'm okay.
Yes,
I am
thanks,
okay.
Maharaj.
You look healthy as usual.
Yes, Maharaj, by your grace. When I see you, I'm very
See.
I will get energy.
Hare Krishna. You are going to the London Mutt regularly, Uma Devi?
Planning to go tomorrow, Maharaj, because from 2 months I didn't go. I'm very busy to working.
Oh, I see.
Normally Sunday I don't get a day off.
Okay. I'm just wondering how the situation is there, how they are handling everything. All these politics, whatever. There she is.
Dandava pranams, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Sorry.
Yeah, I've been to the mutt, Kanapriya Didi.
No,
Not much.
not recently, Maharaj.
Okay.
Lavanya, one Didi had COVID, and then I've just been so busy with things.
Okay.
Not had an opportunity yet.
Okay. How are you feeling?
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you well, Maharaj?
I'm trying to get there. Slowly but surely. I had a nice doctor now who's helping.
Good.
Ayurvedic medicines.
Uh-huh.
And of course, our Krishna Kesava Prabhu, he's always helping me with taking these medicines, preparing nice prasadam out of things that are not very nice that I have to eat.
What have they told you have to eat, Maharaj? What are the things?
Oh, well, I have to take this millet, different types of millet, and a certain type of dal. I don't remember what's the name of that. The dal? Different kinds.
Horse gram,
Oh, horse gram dal,
black-eyed
black-eyed peas. That I don't know. Stuff like that. And then some different types of bitter herbs. So
Mm,
somehow it's helping, however.
good.
No, not very tasty, but somehow it's helping.
Oh. Mm.
One
I'm
good,
glad it's helping.
huh?
Good to hear that it's helping,
Yeah.
Maharaj.
One good thing is when I take this haritaki, what is it?
haritaki
Yeah, haritaki.
at night.
Yes, when I take this haritaki at night, I can also take a half a teaspoon of gur. You know gur?
Oh, yeah. Helps it
Afterwards.
go down, huh?
And well, it's supposed to have synergistic effect. So the bitter and the sweet.
A half teaspoon of gur helps the medicine go down.
That's it.
I look forward to that. The only sweet I have all day.
I suppose it's the natural sugar, isn't it? That's the thing, the gore. It's not really processed at all.
Well, yes, unprocessed, not processed. It's the original form of the sugar before it starts getting processed.
Yamagori Didi is saying, Maharaj, that you are already too sweet. You don't need
I'm
more.
already.
Exactly.
No. Yeah. Hare Krishna.
How is Rasaraj, Prabhu?
Yeah, we talked to him. I try to keep him connected. And he just recently took Kusham to the doctor here in New Jersey, the one that's helping me.
Yeah.
So try to keep connection with him, hoping that all the whatever is happening now will come out and people will understand things better. Actually, it's unfortunate the way so many things happened there at the mud to bring so much misunderstanding. Now I found, I don't know if Shantama's explained anything, but there's a lot of on non-Vaishnava behavior, we could say, going on. And to take the reins, the control from those people, those devotees or those people, whatever you want to say, then it is very good, will be very good for the body. It will be very auspicious. And the hands of those who are trying to direct the body in a more proper way, then we'll find a better atmosphere for everyone. more spiritually progressive atmosphere will come to us all. Be a great benefit. And hopefully devotees like Rasaraj Prabhu, who have been influenced by all the misinformation, will see what is the proper thing. What they were looking for when they came originally is still there. And
So is there what's happened then, Maharaj? Because some people are saying that there's different things happened, and just wondered what was happening then in India.
I don't know. I only see from the side of the devotional aspect who is trying to encourage that and who is not.
Yes.
And hopefully those who are trying to encourage the cultivation of devotional in a pure way, they will help, they will gain the upper hand and help to direct things in a way that will be beneficial and nurturing for the devotional spirit of the devotees. That's how I see it. I don't know. I mean, the politics is not something I have any interest in whatsoever. As long as things are going properly as they can. That's all my only concern. And somehow Krishna sent Shanta Maharaj, is such a good soul and a strong devotee. And he's helping all these things to take place. And Krishna, of course, is helping him also. All our Guru Varga, I think, is helping it because they can see he wants to stick to the proper conception. Very difficult because I've seen, these things happen with Sridhar Maharaj when he was present, with Govinda Maharaj when he was present, and now Acharya Maharaj. These things were going on for a long time. I didn't realize myself. I was always and so absorbed in my the scientific preaching by the order of Prabhupada. I'd leave all those other things to the other devotees. And yeah, I still do that. I don't know. Just pray that everything will work out nicely. And all the devotees can be happily engaged in service. That's the main thing. And I always think that whatever is going on, it is Mahaprabhu's mission that is being represented by the Sri Chaitanya Saraswat. And he can take care of his mud. He can take care of this movement, whether it be the Chaitanya Saraswat mud or ISKCON or anyone. It is his movement, and he knows what's happening. And he can take care of that it goes in the right direction or not. It's really in his hand. And we are all in his hands. So we must be very sincere. That's all I see. We must be sincere in our desire to fulfill the mission of Mahaprabhu, to teach and spread the message of Mahaprabhu to others. And in that way, then everything will happen. What to speak of, preaching to others, even preaching to our own God brothers and sisters. That must also be our intention, to see that they are also doing well, that they are also progressing. We're not only preaching to people outside, but also within our own ranks. We want to make sure that everyone is doing things nicely and properly. So if that is our sincere desire, Krishna will fulfill the desires of his devotees, his sincere devotees, and everything will be taken care of very nicely. Yeah. We pray that that will happen very soon and things will get properly adjusted and then go on even more enthusiastically and more blissfully than they have been even so far. Joy, Haribol. Jai Mahaprabhu ki jai. I think 1:30. We'll start with Kirtan. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu
Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Vivasadi Gora Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Nitai Gaura Haribo, 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 Nitai Gaura Haribo.
Haribo, Haribo, Nitagora Haribo.
Nitai Gaura Haribo, 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 Nitai Gaura Haribo.
Nitai Gora Haribo, 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 Nitai Gora Haribo.
Jai Sachinandana Gaura Haribo.
Jai Sachinandana Gora Haribo.
Jai Sachinandana Gaur Haribo.
Jai Sachinandana Gora Haribo.
Nitai Gaura Haribo, 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 Nitai Gaura Haribo.
Nitai Gora Haribo, 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 Nitai Gora Haribo.
Jaya Jaya Guru Dev, Guru Dev, Guru Dev, Jaya Jaya Guru Dev.
Jaya Jaya Guru Dev, Guru Dev, Guru Dev, Jaya Jaya Guru Dev.
Jaya Jaya Guru Dev, Guru Dev, Guru Dev, Jaya Jaya Guru Dev.
Jaya Jaya Guru Dev, Guru Dev, Guru Dev, Jaya Jaya Guru Dev.
Jai Nitai Gaur Haribo.
Haribo.
Jai Srila Prabhupada, Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Guru Dev, Srila Acharya Dev Ki Jai. Jai Giri Govardhana Ki Jai. Jai all glories to the assembled devotees. Jai Samaveda Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai. Jai Go Premanandi.
Jai Srila Bhakti Madhava Puri Maharaj ki
Jai.
I'm not going to say all the devotees' names. Jai to all the devotees. Thank you very much. All right. Namiya Sindhu Prabhu, Haribol.
Maharaj, Haribol.
Dandavat Prabhu.
So let's page go to Vandana, page 38. Vandeham
Vandeham
Yuta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavam
Cha
Sri Rupam Sagrajata
Sagrajatam
Sagana Raghunathan
Raghunathan
Tam Tam
Vitam Tam Sajivam
Sadvaitam
Advaitam
Savadutam
Savadutam
Parijana Saitam
Saitam
Krishna
Krishna
Chaitanya
Chaitanya
Deva
Devam
Sri Radha Krishna Padam
Padam
Sahagana Lalita Sri
Lalita Sri
Vishakan
Vishakhanvitamsya
Tamsha Om Aganatirang
Jnanatirandasya
Ananjana Salakaya
Salakaya
Chakshurunmilitam
Chakshurunmilitam
Yena
Yena
Tasmai Shri
Shri
Gurave Namaha
Gurave Namaha
Shri Puja Shri Guru
Shri
Varga Vandita Mahabhava Vanvitaya Sada Purva Parya Parampara Prachalita Pratya Pramurta Krite Bhaktir Nirmala Nirjarasya Vitam Samrakshakam Sadaram Vande Shri Guru Deva Ananta Shira Acharya Varam Nijam Purvavista Sapurakam Guru Ganarashish
Shista
Sambhusita
Sambhutam
Chintya Chintya Samasta Veda
Veda
Nipuna
Nipunam
Sri Rupa
Sri Rupa
Govinda Vidam Ujwalam Paratanam Bhaktanvitam
Bhaktivanvitam
Sundaram
Sundaram
Vande Vishwagurun Cha Divya Bhagavat Premno Hiricha Pradam Devam Divyatanam Suchandavaranam Malarka Chelan Shitam Chandrananda Param Sarikavaranam Vairagya Vidya Buddhim Shri Siddhanta Nidhim Subhakti Lasitam Saraswatanam Param Vande Tam Shubhadam Mareka Sharanam Yashishwaram Sridharam Shri Siddhanta Saraswati Virito Gaudiya Gaurvanvaye Pato Banavira Prabhata Gagade Yogura Sankirtanaya Mayavada Timingilo Ragatan Uditya Jivaniman Krishna Prema Sudabhigana Sakam Pradhat Prabhum Tambaje Namo Gorkishwaraya Bhaktavaduttamurtaye Gaurangri Padmaya Radha Baba Nishe Vande Bhakti Vinodam Shri Gaura Shakti
Shakti
Rupakam
Sarupakam
Bhakti
Bhakti
Sasya Samrajam Radha Rasa Sudanidhim
Sudhanidim
Gaura Vraja Shita Sheshaya Vaishnavar Vande Vigraham Jagannatha Prabhum Vande Premabdin Preda Vaishnavam Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Devacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Panchatatvatmakam
Kartakam
Krishnam
Krishnam
Bhaktarupa Sarupakam
Bhaktarupam
Bhaktavataram
Bhaktavataram
Bhaktavyam
Bhaktam
Namami
Namami
Bhakta
Bhakta
Shakti
Shakti
Namo
Namo
Mahavaranaya
Mahavarnaya
Krishna
Krishna
Prema
Prema
Pradayate
Pradayate
Krishnaya
Krishna
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 Chaitanya
Chaitanya
Namne
Namne Gaurakise Namaha
Jayatam
Yatum
Suratam
Saudhanuryo Skandir Mama
Mamamanda
Mandaramatir
Matir
Nadagatirgati
Atsarva
Atsarvasva Padambujo
Radhamada Namohano
Madhavano
Yadrinaranya
Dhavanaya
Kapalabhada
Kripa Brahmadai
Nagara
Srimadratnagara
Simhasanastha
Simhasanastato
Sri
Sri
Gandharva
Gandharva
Shila
Srila Govinda Dev
Vaisali
Prestati
Mani
Livim
Smarami
Shivai Manyo Smarami
Sriman Rasa
Sriman
Rasam
Rasa Rasambhavi
Vamsavata
Vamshi Vata Tata Stitaha
Karshan Reno Star
Krishnareno
Gopi Gopinatha
Tata
Sri
Sri Astana
Vrindayaya
Tulasi
Tulasi
Devaya
Yai
Jaya
Kesavasita
Kesavachita
Krishna Bhakti
Krishna
Prabhu
Bhakti Prabhupada
Satyavachai Namo
Satyavate
Namaha
Namo Namaha
Vatanatva
Tanatva
mantra
mantra
Gun Bhagavatarthadan
Bhagavatarthadan
Sanjaya
Vyasa
Gurunatho
Jagadgurunatha
Tato Jayam
Jaya Mudirate
Jai Saparika Shri Guru
Sri Guru
Gauranga
Gauranga
Gandharva
Gandharva
Govinda
Govinda
Sundar
Sundar
Pada
Pada
Padmanam Jaya
Padma Namanam Jastu
Shri Krishna
Krishna Chaitanya
Chaitanya Prabhu
Prabhu
Nityananda
Nityananda
Shri
Sri
Advaita
Advaita
Gadadhara
Gadadhara
Shri Vasadi Gaura
Vasadi Gaura
Bhakta
Bhaktivinoda
Hare
Hare
Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
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 Rama
Rama
Hare
Hare
Rama
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 Rama Rama
Rama
Hare Hare
Jai Srila Prabhupada, Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Gurudev, Srila Acharya Dev Ki Jai.
Jai
Jai Giri Govardhana Ki Jai.
Jai
Jai Gaur Premanandi Hari
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 Hari Bol
Hari Bol. Jai.
Jai Sripad Bhakti Madhava Puri Maharaj ki jai.
Jai
Jai Gaur Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai. And you too, Pooch. Okay, then page 16. Yes, Samadhi. Page 16. Yasomati Nandana. Who would like to chat? I'd like to sing.
Shrimad said that she would like to sing Maharaj.
Okay.
Let me turn here to get better the voice.
Srimati Devi.
Yes.
Yasomati Nandana Vrajabara Nagara Gokularanjana Kana
Yasomati Nandana Rajabara Nagara Gokula Ranjanaka
Gopi Paranadana Madana Manohara Gopi
Paranadana Madana Manohara
Kaliyadamana Vidhana
Kaliyadamana Vidana
Amalaharina Mamiya Vilasa
Amala Harina Amiya Vilasa
Vipina Purandara Navina Nagara Gora
Vipina
Purandara Navina Nagara Vara
Vansivadana Suvasa
Vansivadana Subhasa
Rashachana Palana Sukulana Shana Nanda Godana Rakoyala
Brajajana Palana Surakulana Sana Nanda Godana Rakoyala
Govinda Madhava Navanita Taskara
Govinda Madhava Navinita Taskara
Sundarananda Gopala
Sundarananda Gopala
Jamuna Tapachara Gopi Vasanahara Rasarasika Kripa Moya
Yamuna Tatachara Gopi Vasanahara Rasa Rasika Kipamoya
Shiradhavalabha Vrindavana Natavara
Shri Radhavalabha Vrindavana Natabara
Vakati Vinodashraya
Bhakti Vinodashraya
Jai Shashinandana Suramuni Vandana Bhavaya Kandana Jayo He
Jai Sachinandana Suramuni Vandana Bhavabhaya Kandana Jaya He
Jaya Hari Kirtana Nartana Vatana
Jai Hari Kirtana Nartana Vardhana
Kalimala Katana Jayo He
Kali Madhakartana Jai.
Nayana Purandara, Vishwarupa Snehadhara, Vishwamvara Vishwara Kalyana.
Nayana Purandara, Vishwarupa Snehadara, Vishwambara Vishwara Kalyana.
Jai Lakshmi Vishnu Priya, Vishwambara Priya Hiya.
Jai Lakshmi Vishnu Priya, Vishwambara Priya Hiya.
Jaya Priya Kinkara Ishanda.
Jaya Priya Kinkara Ishana.
Shri Sita Dvaitarai, Marini Shrivasa Jaya. Jai Chandra Shekhara Acharya.
Shri Sita Dvaitaro, Malini Srivasa Joy, Jai Chandrasekhar Acharya.
Jaya Nityananda Rai, Gadadara Jai Jai.
Jaya Nityananda Rai, Gadadhara Jaya Jaya.
Jaya Haridasa Namacharya.
Jaya Haridasa Namacharya.
Murari Mukunda Jai, Premanidi Mahajai. Jai Jaya Jata Prabhu Parisada.
Murari Mukunda Jai, Premanidhi Mahashoy, Jayata Prabhupada Sada.
Vandi Sabakara Hoy, Ademeri Kripa Hoy.
Vandi Sabakara Hoy, Adamera Kripa Hoy.
Bhakti Saparsada Prabhupada.
Bhakti Saparsada Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Nitai Gora Haribol, 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 Nitai Gora Haribol.
Nitai Gora Haribol, 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 Nitai Gora Haribol.
Haribol, 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 Haribol.
Haribol, 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 Haribol.
Gora Premanande.
Hare Hare Bol.
Very nice. Thank you, Mataji.
Muito bom, obrigado.
Nadi.
Then, who would like to sing Kripa Bindu Diya? Gurudev, unabated.
Yeah, happy to, Maharaj.
Page, what page is that? Anyone know?
Page number 29.
29.
29.
Gurudev Kripa Bindu Diya Koroe Itase Kripanekshara Titina
Gurudev
Kripa Bindu Diya Koroe Dase
Takala Sahani Boladiya Karo Nijamani Shrihahina
Sakala Sahani
Baladiya Koro Nijamane Shriyahina
Akale Shamana Karati Shakati Tehamata Yata Jata
Sakale Samana Orite Shakati Dehanata Yata
Dehanata
Kavita Gaipa Harinama Shoke Aparata Hoipihata
Sabitu
Kabeta Gaiba
Gaiba Harinama
Orinama
Suke
Suke
Aparada
Aparada Behata
Hobehata
Kabena Kripa Labaye Jana Katata Hoipinata
Kabena
Kabehena
Kripa
Kripa
Labi
Robio E Janna Kata
Hoipinata Shakti Buddhina Miyati Tina Karamura Atmashata
Sakti
Shakti Buddhi
Buddhina
Amiyati Di Paramore Yamasa
Atmashata
Yogyata Vichaye Kichunai Pai Tumara Karuna Sara
Yogyata
Yogyata
Vichare
Vichare
Kichinahi
Kichunahi
Pai
Pai
Tumara Karuna Sara
Karuna Noile Kandia Kandia Pranara Kibohara
Karuna Naila Hoile Kandiya Pranara
Jaya Guru Deva Jaya Guru Deva Guru Deva Jaya Guru Deva
Jaya
Jaya Guru
Guru Deva
Deva
Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru
Deva
Deva,
Jaya Guru Deva
Deva.
Jaya Guru Deva Guru Deva Guru Deva Jaya Guru Deva
Jaya Guru Deva
Deva, Jaya Guru Deva,
Guru
Jaya Guru
Deva Jaya
Deva,
Guru
Jaya Guru
Deva
Deva.
Tagora Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Tagora Hari Bol
Nitai Gaura Hari
Hari
Bol
Bol, Hari
Hari
Bol,
Bol
Hari
Hari
Bol,
Bol
Hari
Hari Bol
Bol.
Good day.
Jai Nitai Gaur.
Okay.
Aye.
Hare Krishna. Then page 65. Oma Devi,
Dandarpana Maharaj.
would you like to sing Nitai?
Okay, Maharaj, I will try. Nitai Pada Kamala Koti Chandra Sushitala Ye Chaya Ya Jagatu Judaya
Nitai Pada Kamala Koti Chandra Sushitala Ye Chaya Jagata Judaya
Ye Nitya Vina Bai Radha Krishna Paite Nahi Druda Kari Dara Nitya Irapaya
Nena Nitai Vineva Radha Krishna Paitenai Radha Nitai Rapa
Se sambandha nahi jara Ruta janma gela tara Se paso bada durachara
Se sambandha nahi jara
Nayara
Vrita janma
Rita Janma
Jara
Geleta
Sei pasu pada
Padadurachara
Nitai na balila muke majila samsara suke Vidya kule ki kari betara
Nitai na balila
Majila Samsara
Nitya
Suke
kuli
Nitya
ki kari
Kule
vitara
Kari Betara
Ahankara mata haina nitai pada pasariya asa teri satya karimani.
Ahankara nitai pada
Nitai para pasariya
asatere satya
karimani.
Nitya karuna habe Raja Radha Krishna pabe Dara nitya ira charana dukhani.
Nitai karuna habe Raja Radha
Haranitaye charandu kani.
Nitya charana sahara Sahara sevaka nitya Nitai pada sada karahasa.
Nitaya charana satya Anhara sevaka Nitya sadakora asa.
Narottama bada duki Nitai mora karasuki Rakaranga charanera pasa.
Narottama Bharati Nitai More Karasuki Rakaranga Charanera Pasa.
Dayalitai, 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 dayalitai.
Dayanitai, 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 Dayanitai.
Sri Narottam Das Thakur ki jai.
Namiya Sindhu Prabhu. Oh, would you like to read the English translation of that song? Your mic is muted.
Madhava Maharaj, please forgive me, but I have just had dental surgery, so I am very unable to speak.
Okay.
Sorry. Anyway,
Please.
but Maharaj,
Yes.
just in between, may I just read something, if I may? Perhaps you can pronounce it. Yahe Dika Tarikaha Krishna Upashadiya. Whoever you meet, talk to him about Krishna on both parties. The hearer and the speaker will be benefited. By this cultivation of Krishna consciousness, both parties will benefit permanently. So only in Krishna consciousness will our time and energy be utilized. Jai Gurudev, Madhava Maharaj, thank you for your association.
Thank you.
Forgive me that I can't speak properly.
Okay. Please get better quickly. Tony, are you there? Tony, we can hear you. Okay. Any others? No, it's okay. We wanted to engage those who are not able to read the Sanskrit or sing it. And who else would like to sing one by their favorite bhajan? Who has it already?
Sundar Maharaj, did you say your favorite?
What did he say? Oh, no, I'm asking the others if they would like to sing. Sadhu Gopal Prabhu?
Yes, Maharaj.
You're chosen.
Okay. It can be page 87.
87, okay.
Yeah. Gopinath mama nivedana suna visai durjana sadakam marata kichunahi mora guna.
Gopinath mama nivedana Vishaya Durjana Sadaka Kichnahi Mora Guna.
Gopinath Amara Barasatumi Tomara Charane Lainu Sharana Tomara Kinkarami.
Gopinath Amara Basama
Gopinath
Tumi Tomara Charane Laino Sarana Tomara Kinkarami.
Gopinath ke mane sodi bemora na jani bakati karme jada mati padechi samsara gore.
Gopinath Emone Sodi Bemore Najani Bhakti Karme Jadamati Parichi Samsara Gore.
Gopinath Sakali Tomara Maya Nahi Mama Bala Jnana Sunirmala Svadhinana Hekaya.
Gopinath Sakala
Sakali Tomara Maya
Nahi
Nahi
Mama
Mama Bala
Bala
Jnana
Suri
Surimala Swadhinana Hekaya.
Gopinath Niyata Charanashtana Mage Pamara Kadia Kadia Karahe Karunadana.
Gopinath Niyata Charanastana
Mage
Mage
Pamara
Pamara
Kandiya
Kondiya
Kandiya
Kondiya Karahe Karunadana.
Gopinath Tumita Sakali Para Durjane Tarite Tomara Shakati Ke Achepa Pirara.
Gopinath Tumita Sakali Para Durjane Tarite Tomara Shakati Eche Papira.
Gopinath Tummi Kripa Parabara Jivera Karane Ashia Prapanche Lila Kaila Suvishtara.
Gopinath
Gopinath
Tumi Krupa
Tumi Kripa
Parabara
Parabara Jivera
Jive
Karane
Karane
Asya
Hasya
Prapanche
Prapanche
Lila
Lila
Kaila
Kai
Subhistara.
Gopinath Amiki Doshera Doshi Asura Sakala Kaila Charana Vinoda Kilavasi.
Gopinath
Gopinath
Amik
Amiki
Doshera
Dosera
Doshi
Doshi
Asura
Aswara Sakala Paila Charana
Vinoda
Vinodata
Kilavasi
Kilavasi.
Jaya Guru Deva Jaya Guru Deva Jaya Guru Deva Srila Guru Deva.
Jaya
Jaya
Guru
Guru
Deva Jaya
Guru
Guru
Deva
Deva
Guru
Guru Deva
Deva Jaya
Guru
Guru
Deva
Deva.
Jai Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur ki Jai. Jai
Jai
Srila Bhakti Madhava Puri Maharaj ki Jai.
Jai
Jai Jadagopal Prabhu ki Jai.
Jai.
That was very beautiful.
Very nice.
Then next, who has not sung?
Próximo, alguém gostaria de cantar?
Shamaguri.
O Dilano.
Jai.
Odilaruna.
Qual é a página?
Página 30.
30.
Which page? 30.
30, Maharaj.
30. Udilaruna Purabhavaje Dijamani Gora Mani Jaje
Udila Aruna Purabhavaje Shiva Mari Gora Mani Jage
Bhakata Samohalo Yasate Gelanagari Vraje
Gelanagara Vraje
Tatai Bajalakul Gana Jajiror
Tatai Bajalakola Gana Tahi Janjera Rola
Preme Dala Sonaranga
Preme dala sonaranga
Charanenu Purabaje
Charananu Purabaje
Mukunda Madhavaya Davahare Balena Balare Vadana Vare
Mukunda Madhava Yadavahari Bolena Bolo Revadana Bhari
Micheni Dava Segelare Rate
Nichani Dava Segelorati
Jiva Sasari Rasaje
Diva Sasadira Saje
Devana Durlaba Manava Deha Paya Kikaro Pavana Keha
Emana Duraba Manavade Paya Kikoro Bhavana Keha
Ebena Bajile Yashoda Shuta
Ebeya Bajile Yasoda Sutta
Charame Pati Vilaje
Charame Bodhi Velaje
Ujita Tapana Hoile Asta Jinagele Boli Hoi Biasta
Udita Tapana Hoile Asta Dinagelo Bole Hoile Asta
Tabekena Ebe Allah Sahai
Tabekena Ebe Ala Sahai
Abajari Dayaraje
Nabachare Dayaraje
Jivana Hanita Janabasara Dahena Navida Vipadabara
Jivana Nitya Janahasara Kahena Vida Vipadabhara
Namatraya Kori Atane Tumi
Namashaya Koriyatane
Yakaha Panakaje Krishna Namasuda Kariyapana Juda Obakati Vinoda Prana
Krishna Nam Suda Koriyapana Judayo Bhakati Vinora Prana
Namavina Kichuna Hikoaro
Namavina Kichu Nahiko Hara
Oda Bhuvana Maje
Chaura Bhuvana Maje
Jivera Kalyana Sadhana Kama Jagati Asi Madhura Nama
Jivera
Kalyana
Kalyana
Sadhaka
Sadhaka Jagate Asiri
Pranama
Avijati Mira Tapana Rupe
Avidyati
Avidyate Tapana Rupe
Hridai Gagane Viraje
Rode Gagana Vira
Jaya Guru Jaya Guru Deva Jaya Guru Deva Jaya Guru Deva
Jaya Guru Deva Jaya Guru Deva
Deva Jaya
Deva
Jaya Deva
Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev
Jaya Jaya
Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev
Gurudev Gurudev Gurudev Gurudev
Gurudev Gurudev Gurudev Gurudev
Jai Gurudev ki jai.
Jai.
Joy. And Nalini Devi, what would you like to say?
105. She said Amara Jivana.
Yes.
Oh,
One moment, Maharaj.
Sada paperata nahi kapunera lesha.
Amara Jivana Sada Patirata Naika Punya
Parere udvega niyachige kata. Parere
Udvega Diyachige Kata
Diyachige vere klesha. Amara Jivana Sada Paperata Nahika Punyera Lesha.
Amara Jivana Sada Paperata Nahika Punyera Lesha
Nija Sukhalagi Pape Nahidari Daya Hina Svarta Para
Nija Sukhalagi Pape Nahidari Doya Hina Svarta Para
Arasuke Duki Sadami Taibashi
Para Suke Duki Sadamitra Basi
Para Duka Sukakara
Para Duka Sukakara
Amara Jivana Sada Paperata Nahika Punyera Lesha.
Amara Jivana Sada Paperata Nahika Punyera Lesha
Ashesha Kamana Ridima Jemora Kroditamba Parayana
Ashesha Kamana Ridima Jemora Kroditamba Parayana
Madhamata Sada Vishaye Mohita
Madhamata
Sada
Vishaye
Vishaye
Mohita
Mohita
Garva Vibhushana
Sagarva
Vibhushana,
Vibhushana,
Amara Jivana, Sadapa Pirata, Nahika Punera Lesha,
Amara Jivana Sada Papirata Nahika Punesa
Nidra Saka, Sukare Virata, Akare Udoyami, Nidra
Nidrasahata
Sukare
Sukarya
Virata Akare Udyohiyami
Pratishta Lagia, Shatyacharana, Lobaha, Labista Lagia, Shatachara, Lobahata Sadakami,
Pratishtalakiya
Satyacharana
Chakratarana
Lobahata
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 Sadakami
Amara Jivana, Sadapa Perata, Nahika Punera Lesha, Amara
Amara
Jivana,
Jivana Sada
Sadarana
Papirata
Nahika
Nahika
Punera
Punera
Lesha
Ehena Durjana, Sajana Varjita, Aparadini Ratara.
Yehi
Durjana
Sajana
Sajana Vajita
Varjita
Aparadini
Aparadita
Ratara
Sudava Sudakari Sunya Sadana Manaha
Subhakaya
Sudakaya Sunya
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 Saranardana
Saranartamanya
Duke Jara Jara
Nana Duke Jara Jara
Amara Jivana Sada Paperata Nahika Punera Lesha
Amara Jivana Sada Papirata Nahi Kapuresa
Varda Kekara Upaya Vihina Tate Dina Akinchana
Vada Kekara Upaya Vina Tate Dina Hakinchana
Akadivino Charane
Bhakti
Bhakti Vinoda
Prabhu Acharane
Hare Dukani Vedana
Kare
Kare
Dukani Vedana
Amara Jivana Sada Paperata Nahika Punera Lesha
Amara Jivana Sada Paperata Nahika
Naika
Punera
Punera
Lesha
Jaya Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
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 Hare
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 Rama
Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Rama
Rama Hare
Hare
Rama
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 Hare
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 Hare Nitai Gora Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gora Hari Bol
Nitai
Nitai
Gaura
Gaura
Hari
Hari
Haribo
Bol Hari
Haribo
Bol Hari
Haribo
Bol Nitai Gaura Hari
Haribo
Bol
Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol
Hari
Haribo
Bol Hari
Haribo
Bol
Hari
Hari
Bol Hari
Bol
Bol
Gora Pramanande
Hari
Hari
Haribo
Bol
Hare Gaura. and then Krishna Kesha Prabhu.
Página 54. Page 54.
Ah, very nice. 54. É?
Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakati Sadma
Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakti Sadma
Vando Muni Savadhana Mate
Vando Muni
Savadhana
Mate
Yahara Prasade Bhai E Bhavatari Ayai
Jahara Prasade Bhai E Baba Tariya Jai
Krishna Prapti Haya Yaha Hoite
Krishna Prapti Haya Hoite
Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Chitete Kariya Aikya
Guru Mukha Padma Taite Kariya
Adana Kariha Mane Asa
Adana
Shri Guru Charane Rati Ese Utamagati
Shri Guru Charane Rati Aise Uttamagati
Ye Prashade Pure Sarva Asa
Ye Prasade Pure Sarvahasa
Chakshadana Dilaye Jane Jane Prabhu Se
Chakshudana Dila Janme Prabhu Se
Divya Gan Hriday Prakashita
Divya
Prema Bhakti Yaha Hoite Ya Vidya Vinyasa Yate
Prema Bhakti Vidya Vinasa Jate
Vede Gaya Yahara Charita
Veda Gaya
Shri Guru Karuna Sindhu Adhama Janara Bandhu
Shri Guru Karuna Sindhu Adhama
Lokanath Lokera Jivana
Lokanath Lokera Jivana
Haha Prabhu Korodaya Deha More Padachaya
Aha Prabhu
Prabhu Paradoya Deho More Parachaya.
Eha Dhamma Laila Sarana.
Yeha
Yadamalaila Sarana.
Ami Saranilam.
Ami Sharani
Nilam.
Abhay Sripad Padme Saranilam.
Abhaya
Abhaya
Sripad
Sripad
Sharanilam
Nilam.
Amai Dhoya Korohe.
Amaya Karahe
Patit Pavan Shri Gurudev Daya Korohe.
Patit Pavan Gurudev Daya Karahe
Adhama Patita Jene Daya Korohe.
Adama
Adhata
Patita
Jani Daya Karahe
Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva.
Jaya
Jaya
Guru
Guru Deva, Jaya Guru
Deva
Deva,
Guru
Jaya
Deva
Guru
Jaya
Deva,
Guru
Jaya Guru
Deva
Deva.
Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva.
Jaya Guru
Jaya Guru
Deva Jaya
Deva, Jaya
Guru
Guru
Deva
Deva, Jaya
Guru
Guru
Deva Jaya
Deva, Jaya
Guru
Guru
Deva
Deva.
Jai Shri Narottam Das Thakur Ki Jai.
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 Okay. Maybe we'll sing one more. Next song there, Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu, Doya Ko Ramore, Doma Vina Ke Dayalu, Jagata Majare.
Jaya Shri Krishna
Ya
Chaitanya
Prabhu,
Prabhu Daya
Daya
Karamore Toma Vina
Ke
Ke
Dayalu,
Dayalu Jagata Majhare
Patita Pavana Hetu Tava Avatara Mo Sama Patita Prabhu Napai Beyara
Patita Pavana Hetu Tava Avatara Mosama Patita Prabhu Napaibe Ara.
Aha Prabhu Nityananda Premananda Sukhi Kripa Valokanakara Ami Badaduki
Haha Prabhu Nityananda Premananda Shuki Kripavalokanakara Ami Badaduki
Daya Kara Sitapati Advaita Goshani Tava Kripa Balapai Chaitanya Nitai
Dayakara Sitapati Advaita Goshani Tava Kripa Bole Pai Chaitanya Nitai
Goro Prema Maya Tanu Pandita Gadadhara
Gaura
Oh, sorry.
Gora Prema Maya Tanu Pandita Gadharara
Srinivasa Haridasa Dayara Sagara
Srinivasa Haridasa Dayara Sagara
Aha Swarupa Sanatana Rupa Raghunatha Bhatta Yuga Sri Jiva Ha Prabhu Lokanatha
Ha Swarupa Sanatana Rupa Raghunatha Pata Yuga Shri Jiva Prabhu Lokanatha
Ayakara Sri Acharya Prabhu Srinivasa Ramachandra Sangamage Narottamo Dasa
Daya Koro Sri Acharya Prabhu Srinivasa Ramachandra Sange Mage Narottama Dasa
Ayakara Prabhupada Sri Gora Prakasha
Daya Koro Prabhupada Sri Gora Prakasha
Tava Jana Kripa Mage Eha Damadasa
Tava Jana Kripa Mage E Adhama Dasa
Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai
Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai
Guru Premanandi Hari Hari Hari. I believe. Okay. Then, are there anything that would anyone else like to say or present or talk about or questions before we begin our Prapanna Jivanamrita? Tomorrow is Srila Sridhara Maharaja's appearance day. Disappearance day, sorry. It's called Bhakti Rakshak. Bhakti Rakshak Sridhara Maharaja. Do you know Bhakti Rakshak? Meaning? Bhakti Rakshak.
Rakshak means protecting.
Protector.
Yes.
Rakshak. Krishna Kesava Rakshamam. Mahaprabhu used to sing, you know. Krishna Kesava, Krishna Kesava, Krishna Kesava Rakshamam. Or Raghava, he used to say Raghava, I think. Raghava, Ram Raghava, Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava, Rakshamam.
What's the meaning of that, Maharaj?
I'm sorry?
What's the meaning of that one?
Raksha, Raksha means protect.
Raksha. But the other one, Maharaj? Rama
Raghava. Raghava is the family, the dynasty in which Rama was born, King Raghava. Krishna, 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 hey. Mahaprabhu used to sing in the streets with the devotees. Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava, Rakshamam. So Srila Sridhara Maharaj's disappearance, remembrance of Srila Sridhara Maharaj's disappearance. Tomorrow is Srila Bhakti Rakshak. Bhakti Rakshak means the guardian of devotion. the Bhakti devotion Rakshak, Bhakti Rakshak. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, the Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur gave this name, sannyas name, to Srila Sridhara Maharaj. Very auspicious. Sridhar also. Sridhar is Sridhar Swami and known in the Vedantic world and for his commentary, authentic commentary on the Bhagavatam. He gave this very beautiful and auspicious name to Srila Sridhara Maharaj. And we can see from the writings of Srila Sridhara Maharaj how carefully he presented the principles of bhakti in his books. So pure. Anyone who reads those books can understand the detail and the care he took in presenting the proper conception. Saranagati. His god brothers and other advanced Vaishnavas, non-envious Vaishnavas, they could understand the precious teachings that Srila Maharaj gave for the whole devotional world. Saraswati Thakur also recognized him especially and asking him to chant, to sing the Sri Manjari Pada, a song glorifying the lotus feet of Rupa Manjari, chief associate of Srimati Radharani, in the highest Leelas, Madhava, between Radha and Krishna. So he had that special position. And somehow or other we had the fortune, we had the great fortune, the inconceivable fortune of being able to have a little of his association by the bountiful grace of Srila Prabhupada, told that he considers him his Shiksha Guru. Srila Prabhupada said, I consider Sridhar Maharaj to be my superior and my Shiksha Guru. And he told, think of what good fortune you can have by associating with him. But not everyone took advantage of that instruction, that hint. And yeah, everyone is going on somehow or other. So many devotees Prabhupada created, and in our mission, they're going on and trying to cultivate and nurture the teachings that have been given by these great acharyas. And yet many devotees don't know that Sridhar Maharaj's name, whole name, what it means. The protector, the guardian of devotion. You've all heard of that, the guardian of devotion. I think some of his books may have that name on it. The guardian of devotion. very carefully, he distinguished between those who had the proper conception and those who are having a different idea. He had a very keen memory and intelligence when he was young. He could remember when, from the time he was 5 years old, whatever happened. And he could remember very nicely so many different shlokas from the scriptures, and was very keen to understand the meaning that Saraswati Thakur would convey in his lectures. And Saraswati Thakur was such a intellect also, very fine, and he talked in a very high way about many high conceptions, and many of the devotees could not follow. And Sridhar Maharaj would catch it very clearly and remember what Saraswati Thakur had said. And when the devotees wanted to understand what Saraswati Thakur was saying, they would come to Srila Sridhar Maharaj and ask him to explain like that. So they all had great respect for Srila Sridhar Maharaj. Even after the disappearance of Saraswati Thakur, they would often come to him, and he had his humble mutt in Sridham Navadvip. And he took up residence by the mercy of Lord Nityananda. He took up residence in the place in Koladweep called Aparada Bhanjan Pot. Aparada Bhanjan Pot. The place where all offenses are forgiven. That is the place where Jaghai Madhai, threw the pot and Nityananda Prabhu said, and Nityananda forgave them. Can you imagine such a great offense committed by these two drunken fools? Throw the pot, such that Nityananda's forehead was bleeding. Mahaprabhu came there immediately when he heard what was going on and wanted to kill them. You have thrown something at my Nityananda Prabhu. What a kind of offense. You are condemned. He wanted to condemn them immediately. And Nityananda begged him, no, don't do that. It is Kali Yuga. We have come here to save these kind of people. These people are meant for rectifying, for saving. They have no hope otherwise. So you have come particularly in this Kali Yuga to bring them up, to give them a simple process by which they can become exalted in their true spiritual duty, true spiritual identity. You'll come to turn them in that way and educate them and allow them a chance to achieve this true form, the real form of their human life, real purpose. So don't kill them. Give them a chance. We have to forgive them and try to rectify their lives by proper teaching, proper direction. And like that, when they saw how merciful Nityananda was, how even after offending him so seriously, he forgave them. What type of love Nityananda Prabhu had for the fallen souls, and Mahaprabhu likewise. And they became in that way surrendered souls unto the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda. So Sridhar Maharaj is the protector and guardian of that type of thinking that type of mission. I'm surprised that many of the today's devotees don't know these things. So it has to be told again and again. We have to be reminded of Srila Sridhara Maharaj. Some have even eliminated him when they speak of the mission. Surprised to see. They eliminate Sridhar Maharaj to start with Govinda Maharaj. I don't understand that. You can see on some websites, they have Govinda Maharaj, then they have the next Acharya. Whether it be Acharya Maharaj or some other local Acharya. So our Sri Chaitanya Saraswat was founded by Srila Sridhara Maharaj, and he is the originator. And Govinda Maharaj is his faithful and loyal disciple, the most beloved disciple. The loving relation between Srila Govinda Maharaj and Srila Sridhara Maharaj was exemplary and astonishing. But they cannot be separate from one another. So anyhow, we are members of that family, Guru Varga. Not beginning with Srila Sridhara Maharaj, of course. And that goes before him, from Saraswati Thakur and Bhakti Thakur. In the modern age, Bhakti Thakur established the revival of Krishna consciousness in its pure form. But before that, there were the other Vaishnava-acharyas also, who carried down the teachings from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the six Goswamis. And all that is represented, must be represented in the Sri Chaitanya Saraswat mud. And the only thing is devotees must know this history, know these details, at least these points about what is unique and special and essential to the Sri Chaitanya Saraswat family of devotees. Prabhupada also taught these things, Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada. We find in his teachings all these things, but we have to look carefully. We read Prabhupada's books very carefully with the further instructions of Srila Sridhara Maharaj, emphasis that he's given. We can find all these things in Srila Prabhupada's teachings also. But some devotees don't look at these things, even in Prabhupada's books. They're not aware, they're not fully conscious of all that he has given. He has given so much. So the help of Guru is necessary to give us some focus, give us some place to give our attention. Sometimes we miss because of our own conditioning or whatever. We will miss certain things that are very important. Just like when a student goes to college or wherever, takes up a course in some subject. Generally, if you read a book on a particular subject, you may miss many essential points. And when you come to the teacher, he will point out things that are very important that may not have gotten on your own, even though you read all the literature. And this way you can be up to date and very proficient in whatever subject matter you are studying. And also true in spiritual life, even more important. So having an expert, guide, assistant, Guru Dev, when we are trying to make progress in spiritual life is very important and very helpful. Essential, actually. We are very conditioned souls. How can we know what is the unconditioned? Except by those who have been raised up to that platform somehow or other, to some degree or other. Then we can try to get some guidance, some direction from those souls. This way, the senior devotees may be of some help to us, who have had that association, have learned those things directly from Guru Dev. They may, if they are following nicely in their own lives, they may be able to help us see those things also that we may somehow or other forgotten or have not so prominently entered our consciousness. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Dhanyavad Maharaj.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Amiya? Yes, Prabhu.
Dhanyavad Maharaj, thank you so much for what you've just said. Please, Maharaj, may I ask a question?
Yes, what is that?
Maharaj, you gave a wonderful analogy of a student. When it goes to, like, as a baby, one goes through this, that, and the other, but as one matures through life, and much as you spoke about as well of understanding and so on, and you go to, a student accepts a teacher as a bona fide educator. And well, I always understand educo, to lead oneself, education, comes from the Latin, educo, to lead oneself, education. And so a student goes to professor or teacher, but there must be, and as the student goes on in the years of guidance under the various people, there must be the humility of the student to accept that they don't know everything, that they must understand various things. But then after the student becomes qualified or not qualified or whatever, it makes no difference. However, hopefully they have gained an education in how to use the facilities and the skills that have been taught by third degree education or whatever it means. But you see, Maharaj, may I ask that you also just sort of sidely adverted to social media or miscommunications and so on. So basically, you know, what I'm saying is that even though one can come out of a university course and all this, that, and the other, and so on, one has degrees, but still there are levels of perception, awareness, consciousness, intercourse with the universe from the moment one wakes up to the profound notions as to civic, social, and otherwise responsibility awareness. nevertheless, Maharaj, as you have quite properly pointed out also, that we never fully understand, what, but are there degrees to which there is information? Look, I mean, maybe I'll make this simple. In other words, Srila A.C. Bhakti Prabhupada always said about any discourse in the 10th canto or Srimad Bhagavatam, for example, because these are very intimate subjects, and but also in the same way that the fundamentals of Krishna consciousness, I mean, you take it from simply just, you see, again, I'm just getting so deviated on the notion of the fractals situations and this, the scientific aspects of so many of the dimensions of it, but try to, I mean, how can one talk about a technology of intellect or concepts and so on, and in some way all through, I don't know, is it just down to perception of each individual jiva, or is it just simply the grace of Guru who can explain so many things, but within the individual, is there a limitation within the individual jivas that are living around here now to simply be able to absorb? In other words, no point in putting a tissue on a big bucket of milk that's been spilt out. Pointless. Cannot absorb. Is the mind the same way?
I think.
Sorry, Maharaj.
Yes, I understand. I understand. I think a devotee always feels that he has no connection with that infinite flow. He doesn't really feel he has a connection with it. He feels just like anyone else, any one of us. How to be directed by that infinite universe, that infinite supreme personality. How do we get that, a connection with that flow, with that direction, with that will of the supreme person? How do we get a relation? And always looking above, just like, the example is given of the Chataka bird. Chataka bird doesn't take water from anywhere else except from the cloud. So he's waiting. He just waits for that drop to come. Then he can quench his thirst. Otherwise, he remains thirsty. And he never knows when that cloud is going to give a thunderbolt. But he looks up at the dark cloud when he sees it, and he opens his mouth, waiting for the drop to come down. And sometimes the thunderbolt comes. We're like that. We're just waiting and hoping that Krishna will utilize us. And when we say, get the mercy of the Lord, I mean some service connection. Something in our life will happen by His mercy, by His grace, and we will be able to go on serving Him. But otherwise, we have no ability. We have no ability to make that connection from our side. We can only be humble and receptive. We can try. We may read the Shastra, so many things, associate with so many great devotees. But in the end, we have to have only our faith, because even these great devotees will leave one day. We won't have their company. Acharya Dev, Gurudev may leave, be taken Srila Maharaja used to say, withdrawn. She says, anytime I may be withdrawn from this world. And then what is the devotee to do? So although we feel very happy and confident when Gurudev is here, what happens when he withdraws? We are left with ourselves and our inability to connect with the infinite because it's so far above us. So I advise from some experience that we should always feel that total dependence and humility in our lives. And the faith, strong faith in Krishna, and the hope that he is there, that he will utilize us as he sees fit. We have to stand in complete obedience and complete passive activity, complete passive existence. It's just like a pawn in a chess game. We don't move on our own. The pawns don't move themselves. They don't make any plans for how to checkmate the king. But they wait for somebody to move them. Then they can play a role in the game. So we are like that. And the only thing we have is our faith. And Srila Maharaj always would emphasize this. Spiritual life, we have to have faith in the infinite world. It cannot be navigated by any finite mind or intelligence or heart. Finite heart, finite mind, finite intelligence, whatever we have, not up to us entirely. We are totally, rather, dependent upon the Lord. Those who have some initiative, who think they have some ability to represent or to enter that world or whatever, navigate that world, they're mistaken. We don't. We must only try to look in our own hearts and see how much faith we have, how strong, how pure, how total that faith is. That's all. Do what is right. Try to the extent that we can. Follow the Vaishnavas. Try to serve them who are higher than us. We always see in the infinite, it spreads everywhere, even into this world. Even in this world. So when we are dealing with anyone or anything, we have to recognize His infinite nature is also there. His divine nature is also there. And we have to be very careful in dealing with all those things. And always keep that in mind. How to handle those things. And always feeling insufficient, inadequate to do it. That's a safe position, I think, for a devotee to take. And he'll always be taken care of, I think, in that condition. And even sometimes he's not taken care of. He doesn't change his attitude. And eventually things will happen as the Lord desires. So humility and strong faith, these are necessary to make it through our whole life as a devotee. Krishna has some special position, some special goal, a special role that we have to play. That's up to him. And he'll provide that, everything. I sometimes think that, Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami, the story how he is told that he is such an old man, blind, practically unable to see his own shadow or whatever, unable to do anything for himself. And he wrote this beautiful Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's life Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. Of course, he was a very learned man, Kaviraj, and not an ordinary person either. He was a Kaviraj. He had some learning, some intelligence, but his position as an older man was like that. He could hardly do anything for himself. And at that time, Krishna utilized him. Even Srila Prabhupada, Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada, he came to America. He had nothing. He was having a heart attack. He was an old man, and feeling destitute of all help from anywhere. And yet he wrote so many books. And he used to tell, I didn't write these books. Krishna wrote them. And he said, I like to read them myself. So I thought what Krishna said. What did Krishna tell there? My own opinion is like that. My own understanding is like that. Try to be always depending on Krishna, not trying to do everything in your own way. Of course, we can avoid that. We're of that nature also. We like to do things as we think. And that's okay. But don't expect a result to come according to your plan. And it's going on according to his plan. And we are happy when we can get some good result and think that we have done something that has pleased Krishna. Krishna is very sweet, and he can understand what's in our hearts. He'll reciprocate. Yayatamam prapadyante. Tam sataiva bhajamyaham. He promises in the Gita. And the Gita, yes. That as you surrender to him, he will reciprocate with you accordingly.
Madhava Maharaj,
Yes.
thank you so much for your words. Thank you so much. Most wonderful, most excellent. Thank you. Madhava.
One time, I went to Srila Sridhara Maharaja. I told so many things, complicated things are happening at that time, at a certain time, and things that I had not expected and I was totally unprepared for it. I told Maharaj, I feel confused. I'm confused by all these things. And Sridhar Maharaj said, that is Gyan Shunya Bhakti. Gyan Shunya Bhakti. We're going on, we may be confused about what's happening, but we keep going on. So you go to Gurudev, tell I'm confused. Then he can say, so what do you want to do? You want to leave? You want to stay? So we say, no, I want to stay. Then that's Gyan Shunya Bhakti. Don't worry about being confused or unconfused. Go on with your service. At a very high position. Evil. Okay. Oh, getting late now. Do we have time to read one? Or does anyone have a question? Any more questions?
Maharaj, Maharaj, I was just speaking with Krishna Keshavadas the other day about the art
Yes.
proposal, and he gave me some ideas, and your thoughts on that idea.
Thoughts on?
The idea of creating like a
an exhibit.
Some sort of, but maybe a presentation of something to for some artists, and then maybe to get some artists together to.
Have you read something of that book that he sent?
Yes, Maharaj.
Do you know what he says about what art is? Have you read that part?
I've read and listened also. So where he's there's so many aspects to
Yes.
to his literature. So I need to really feel that I need to create some presentation. But what my understanding of what he feels art is that art is it's a form to connect to that higher expression of spirit, and in its so it's interesting. That's my understanding of its higher purpose, and where he's talking about how art is lost is that it's lost that connection with.
They want to the artist tries to represent in the sensuous field what that absolute idea. Everyone has some connection with the absolute idea. Absolute idea, which is Krishna, the personality of Godhead. Everyone has some connection with that. We are all emanations from that, manifestations of some aspect of that. That is more or less a less expression of that highest ideal. That is attempting to go to manifest ourselves in that highest ideal, in the expression of that highest ideal. And the artist tries to do that by manifesting his realization of that in a sensuous form. I call it artwork. Some by painting or music or poetry. It is really the attempt to more fully represent that. What he knows within himself is his truth. The absolute truth is the truth of all. And how much we are in contact with that, we manifest in our lives, express in our lives. And the artist attempts to express that, like I said, in some type of form that captures to some degree or other, that fulfills to some degree or other that ideal. That is called art. And that is also beauty. Beauty is the expression of that higher ideal in some form that we can see as far as the artist is concerned. Philosopher will try to do it in thought. And religion, we try to do it in love. Love. Perfect love. Higher love. So it's all an attempt to express that which we are essentially are in our lives. We could call it realize. Realize means make real. Make it real, tangible. To some degree or other, understandable or comprehensible, whatever you want to say. That which is that deepest mystery and the deepest beauty, the deepest love within our own hearts. Try to bring that into expression.
I thought it was nice a bit where he was talking about that essentially human beings are trying to search for themselves, or that connection with with that higher dimension of their true self, which was really lovely, but we're searching for it in an outward way.
Our true self is we are in Krishna Das.
Yes.
True self. So as much as we can express that,
Mm.
then there are different degrees of expression of that and recognition of that, and to represent that in sensuous form, that is a art.
Mm.
So there, like I said, there are different degrees of that. And Hegel gave the example of the classical art, the romantic art.
Symbolic.
And then there's the modern art, I guess all different, so many different art forms. What are they actually trying to express? Some of them are more abstract, some of them are more concrete, some of them more real, some of them more surreal. Indicates how much that we have actually reached and understood and grasped and realized that ideal.
Mm.
Like he gave the example of the Egyptians as symbolic. Symbolic means more or less abstract.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't able to reach the same kind of realism as the Greeks, whose statues were fully human and beautiful. They had the half man, half animal Egyptians. So we can understand they were still in the lower conceptions of reality, realization of themselves. Something was somewhere between man and animal. At least that's the way I understand it.
Mm.
In Hindu art, there's so much fantastical representations, hundreds of arms and heads and this and legs and so forth and so on. Also half man, half lion, things like that. All these representations are there, but what do they mean, And they're all different representations of how the realization of the spirit, the highest idea is being recognized by them, how high they've risen to comprehend that, and or it has comprehended them. And they are, in that way, acting, expressing themselves. Yeah. Very deep and also very profound and a worthwhile endeavor. So I think in art, if we want to show a progression, we have to understand it ourselves to some degree, and then try to represent those different stages in which art progresses from to a substantial understanding of the idea, or to a lesser understanding of it. So it's going to take a little introspection, a lot of introspection, to recognize these things and to help. I think Hegel gives a little help in understanding how that thing develops from lower to a more higher stage. And if you can catch that, what he is saying, how he's developing that, and then look for the different examples of art that have appeared in history, then we might be able to see how to explain that in a visible form. Is that understandable to you?
Yes, Maharaj.
Hello, Maharaj.
Yes.
Most excellent explanation. Thank you very much for sharing what you just said. I have, may I just say that I'm an artist and a musician and so on. I have many, many paintings. I am from childhood right up to my old age now. I'm 60 something or other, doesn't matter. However, I've never published any articles, anything else. This has all been because of, how should I say, no, your expression in saying that the jiva the soul has any individual that comes to the planet is giving as a result of that karmic disposition. Perhaps maybe not, but also there are many people most excellently talented, but it is just the same as satisfaction in reading. Oh yeah, I read Upanishads, I read Vedas, I read Srimad Bhagavatam, whatever else, academic knowledge, and I pursued this academic pursuit, or I produced this musical or whatever. But nevertheless, sometimes maybe it is within only by the grace of Krishna that eventually someone may come into association with a Vaishnava. And then all these hidden treasures within any one individual's personal life suddenly is a treasure trove that has been stored away for the eventual occasion on which it can be given appropriately, because it wasn't to be given by the artist to the rest of humanity for any altruistic or profiting individual property, because such like, for example, if you remember Aldous Huxley and some of the, like the doors of the separate heaven and hell, and many of the experiences, also with regard, say Hermann Hesse, for example, Damien, the exploitation of the psychology, disposition, talents, and so on of any individual, and the creativity that bursts forth from individuals despite their circumstance. Such an expression of perhaps maybe some of the minute energetic properties of the omnipotency of the energies of Vishnu. Please forgive me, I'm rambling. I know nothing, Maharaj, sorry. Thank God.
Okay, Prabhu.
Forgive my ignorance, Maharaj. Well, as an artist and a musician, everything I've ever done is to Krishna. And even though I haven't expressed it or been initiated or whatever else, but Hare Krishna or Radha Krishna and Sri Chaitanya, Krishna, Prabhupada, Nityananda, and Gurudev, my Guru, Shanta Maharaj, my Shishku Guru, I would have no intelligence with what I think as a human being. Dhanyavad Maharaj.
You're trying to serve under Santa Maharaj's guidance? You said you were doing some project for him.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely, absolutely.
Well, that's the important. That's the important thing.
My whole life is devoted to how should I say? Simply for the Maha media. Oh, that's a good one. Kind of phrase, Maha media. But Maha illusion, podcast, television. I work in television. Television is one of the ultimate consumers. It's like a monster. It's a demon beyond. So one can never have enough scripts, enough television, enough idea, enough spontaneity. Oh, goodness me, drama, action, blah, 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 woof, 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 as Jimi Hendrix once said. Anyway, so therefore, media consumes massively, and appetite is massive, and consumerism is massive, and the population and their access to media is just so expansive, it's unreal. So therefore, I kind of feel that because of the life that I've had, when I have some technical skills and whatever, but what I'm saying, Maharaj, is just like you say, an artist of old would have painted a canvas and so on and so on, and all the various this, that, and the other that gave that particular individual all those, like, you know, whatever. Take any one of them, and which they gave to the world what we have now, and we all think we possess. A painting that one looks at and one is inspired by, or one is intrigued by, or one is questioning. So therefore, in the very, very same way, way back in the 60s and the 70s, for example, say the psychedelic era in the 60s when Bhakti Swami Prabhupada was in California. And so therefore, Jagannath deities became most popular because they were all colorful and they were a wonderful way of communicating and attracting people who wanted to know what this is about as a form of art or whatever else. And mind you, remember Heinz Beans and all that nonsense was going on commercially. And then there was a new understanding of, for example, Dali and surrealism, and that suddenly became a context within. So in other words, all these ties and all these connections with regard to the art and so on, and as I say, Hermann Hesse, Aldous Huxley, Timothy Leary, and so on and so on. Nevertheless, Hegel somehow got not in the equation. Nevertheless, anyway, sorry, once again, Maharaj, perhaps this is not the time to mention all these old things. I'm an old man, so forgive me.
Our best hope is to connect with a devotee or Vaishnava, make some connections, and try to do some service that will please the devotees. Try to get some service that we feel comfortable, that is according to our nature, that will complement our nature, some type of service that will complement our nature, and utilize whatever skill, whatever we have in fulfilling the order of Gurudev, or the Vaishnava. Just like when I first went to Srila Prabhupada, I didn't know what the hell I was supposed to do in life, who I was, what anything. Oh, Prabhupada very nicely. I know we must serve the devotees and try to follow the principles and so forth and so on. And I used to clean the bathrooms, do the puja, go out, book distribution, so many things the other devotees were doing. But then when I went directly to Srila Prabhupada, they told Prabhupada that I was a Ph.D. in chemistry. Prabhupada immediately he stopped and he looked at me. He said, "You must use your chemistry to prove that matter comes from life." Now, none of the other devotees ever told me that chemistry was useful in devotional service. I was a body, and I could do different things with that body. I could clean, I could distribute books and so forth and so on. And they used to engage me in those things that they were doing, but nobody ever said, use your chemistry in service. Anyhow, that's what Prabhupada told me immediately. All right, so I changed the course and I started doing that. But the thing is, if Gurudev gives us something to do, then we try to do that. whatever it is that we have, we can utilize in his service. If he doesn't tell us that, then we go on in our other services. Like I said, anybody can clean the toilets. Anybody can distribute books. Let's collect money for the temple, cook, worship the deity. But we have to do it under the direction of the devotees. That's all. And we can become, I was perfectly happy doing all those things before Srila Prabhupada told me to use my chemistry knowledge. I was very happy doing those things, but I realized Prabhupada wanted something else. So I had to take up another level of service, intellectual, use the intelligence. We can use our muscles, we can use our nose, we can do so many things in service, but to use your intelligence, that's another level of service, intellectual type of service. And I thought, I've been so bogged down by so many different conflicting thoughts about how to solve the problems of quantum theory and all those things that the scientists are dealing with. And I wanted to get away from that somehow and just do ordinary things like everybody else. And that was provided for me. But then when I met our Gurudev, he gave me a different thing to do, more complicated type of service. And nonetheless, it was service. So that's the thing that we have to look for. What does Gurudev want of us? If he wants us to clean the toilet, do it. And don't think about what you want to do. The point is, get your connection with some devotee, some Vaishnava, and then do your service under them. Whatever they ask you, do it. That will clear up everything. And that's Krishna's arrangement. That is Krishna's arrangement. That we can come in contact with some Vaishnava and serve them. That is Krishna's arrangement. And we should accept that it is his will and act accordingly. And all this insanity that we may have will disappear. And we'll become clear-headed and clear-hearted. And then we'll be able to make very nice progress. You will see so much progress will come in your spiritual life. More simple and more surrendered. That is the sign that we are making progress. More humble. Giving up all this high-minded things that we may think. Becoming simple and humble and surrendered. All we need. And happiness will automatically follow. Fulfillment will automatically follow. That's what we are meant for. We're not meant for all these other things that distract us from that service mood. We're not meant for all that. That is just a diversion from service. We don't want to get trapped. Things that divert us from the simple, loving service of the Supreme Lord and his devotees. There's where your destiny lies. There's where your highest fulfillment lies. Don't waste time doing other things. Don't waste your life.
And you, Maharaj, thank you so much for your compassion, your generosity, and your grace, and your mercy, and most of all, your instruction.
Hare Krishna.
And your association. Dhanyavad. Jai Krishna.
All right. So I don't think we have any time. I wanted to read something from the Prapanna Jivanamrita, but next time. But do you have something to say? Okay. Then Jai Srila Prabhupada, Samaveda Bhakti Vindaki Jai, Go Premanandi, Hari Hari Go, Jai Gurudev. Please be well. Take care of yourselves.
Srila Bhakti Madhava Puri Maharaj ki Jai.
Krishna.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Thank you so much, Maharaj.
Thank you so much.
Dandavata Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.